What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I'm down south 77, aka DS77, 3SD, 3-Star, probably a whole bunch of other stuff that I will never hear spoken aloud or typed out directly to me. But hey, welcome to YouTube. This here is an adult collector channel where I like to talk about G.I. Joe, mainly classified. Once in a while, we'll take a look at some other stuff that I'm into, other toy lines I like, show you guys that stuff as well. Gonna check out a figure today that I've really been anticipating. Shout out to Shark Eyes Toy Review for putting me onto this guy. I did get him just a little bit early. He knew that I'd really been after this figure, so shout out to him for letting me know. And every now and then I'll kind of cast my lot in with that algorithm mafia, with that group that likes to racketeer that classified algorithm. Once in a while I might buy into such things, and that is the case with this guy right here and getting him a little bit early. Search and Rescue Firefighter Legacy. Really been looking forward to this figure. I don't know why. Don't know why I really wanted this figure. Don't have any firefighters in my family. I know a couple. Just something about this figure. As soon as I saw it, man, I had to have it. Couldn't wait for it. So I did get him in. Go ahead and get him out. Now, I'm aware of a couple of the shortcomings this figure may have, but it is stuff that I anticipated just from looking at it. So we'll check that out, see if any of that is valid concerns, and we'll see if I was a little over enthusiastic wanting this guy and going ahead and getting him in. So without further ado, let's light it up. Get us a good look at the packaging here before we take him out. I know a lot of people are skipping this step right now. I ain't one of them. Got our Legacy there, G.I. Joe Legacy Collection. Over here, a little portrait of him. And this is a little bit different style portrait than what we see on some of the other figures. It's not as much color in it. It's almost like it's, you know, like there's a blaze and it's lighting him up in orange. Kind of neat, a little something different. And back here on the back, we'll get him on the scene of some sort of disaster, putting out a fire at a house in the suburbs. Perhaps that's Springfield. You got this ruined car back here, a couple other of these guys, and this is it, right? This is what you want. You want a little squad of these guys. They got a bunch of different looks. Got somebody leading, being led out here with the blanket. So I like that. It's a cool picture. I mean, power lines, power pole up there. I like the idea, and this is the world building with a figure like this, right? So Search and Rescue Firefighter back here, all of your legal whatnot, your QR code. And you do have a little actual picture of him here. It's kind of like photoshopped in there, which is interesting. And then up here you got more fire in the same picture in a different hue. Really, they just turned up the warmth and the saturation, I think, for that. So this is, I like this. I like the idea of this figure. So wouldn't it be awesome if they did this Legacy series and they made a police officer? Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be cool if we got just like a regular, just a city beat patrol cop in this line? Wouldn't it, Hasbro? Wouldn't it? Here's how he comes packaged. That's how everything is in the tray. Nice and neat. Oh, never mind. There's some. I was going to say, I don't actually even see any tape on here, but yep, there's a piece. Okay. Box real quick. Usually I've got this out of the frame by now, but do have the Legacy in there, G.I. Joe Legacy Collection. I like that. Hey, they're putting something back there again, so maybe that will hold up. I'm just trying to look and see what this is behind it. It's reflecting all these lines. It almost looks like a plat map or something for, you know, like a property grid. I don't know, whatever. you take a look at it whenever you get your legacy guy, because I know you ordered him, right? He does come with a fair bit of accessories, and we're going to talk about those accessories in just a minute. So, of course, I like to have background stuff up so you can see I got out some fire related guys back there, maybe except for heavy duty, but oh, you can't see it. He is firing, so it counts. He's making fire. Let's look at all his equipment first. I want to go over the accessories. Does come with these Jaws of Life, these extractors. Same ones we saw with Ripper. They look really good here, painted in this orange, kind of a like a industrial, like a Husqvarna orange. But they do look good, really accents everything. Everything else, got black up here, everything else looks like, no, this front piece is black. This whole thing's black. It's hard to tell here. Probably gonna have to angle the camera down so you guys can actually see everything that I'm looking at. I am gonna be changing my camera view up a little bit coming up soon, I think. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I like this orange. No, I guess it's more of a still than a Husqvarna, huh? Anyway, we've seen this before. Looks really good here. I'm not super crazy about these. I mean, they look fine and they function fine, you know. I don't mind them being battery powered. I don't mind all of that. People lost their mind over that when Ripper came out. I'm fine with it. I just not. It's awkward for them to hold it. It's just unwieldy. So that's the only reason I don't like it. I think it looks great. It does come with a set of clear goggles here that are gonna hopefully slip on easily over one of the head sculpts. Speaking of head sculpts, do have your alternate head here, and you don't have any extra hands because they have on the underneath fireproof suit, the fire retardant part on the gloves, so it just matches the head. So they were able to do extra accessories probably because they didn't have to worry about extra hands. This guy looks good, eyes look centered, lips look okay, eyebrows, paint on this all looks good. A little detail back here. I think we've seen this mask before, maybe. I don't know. It looks like it may be familiar, but guys know I don't super duper keep up with all of that stuff. Here's the firefighter helmet. The chin strap is all connected. So you're probably going to need to take the head off and pop it in here, then put the whole thing on. He is from 609. Why can't I think of what Hall 609? Why can't I think of what fire department locals are called? Anyway, does have the little fin on the hat, little traditional firefighter helmet. The yellow, the safety tape all the way around it. More fire retardant hood back here in the back. This thing looks really nice. Happy with it so far. Gonna be interesting to see how all of this fits together. Let's go ahead and look at the breathing unit here. Breathable air, 300 bar, 4350 psi. Tank looks good, and we do have the new system here with this, with the slip-on system. So we'll see how that works. I think I'm probably going to like that better because I don't leave backpacks on a lot of my figures just because most of them don't fit very well. So you got this kind of gunmetal gray on the ends of the tube. You got this strap here helping hold it all together. This is going to hold it to the gear. Nice buckle there. Looks like a little bit different color on the buckle. Back to this same gunmetal gray here. And then up here you have, of course, your valves, turn it on and off, regulator, all of that stuff on here. So it looks good. I mean, my limited knowledge of oxygen tanks, of SCBA units, looks pretty decent. While we're looking at that, let's go ahead and look at the full face breathable rebreather. Looks nice, man. It's got the air cartridge here. Hope he can get gonna have to do the qualitative and the quantitative fit test when I get this guy geared up. Little head straps there. little safety ring in the back to hold it to his head. Looks like this is going to look pretty sweet on this guy. Let's go ahead and pop it on here. So I like that. Gonna be real interesting seeing if we can get all this on there together, but we'll do that challenge in a few minutes. Now I do want to talk about his accessories. He comes with 3 axes, 1 large axe and 2 small axes. People were like, "Oh, what does he need so many axes for?" Well, you know, maybe one gets stuck in the door or the wall and he's got to cut it out. Have you guys never gotten a chainsaw stuck? I like these. This is part of the reason. The accessories are a big part of the reason I really wanted this figure. I like this axe. It is entirely different than the one that Barbecue comes with. It's not even close. It's not even in the same ballpark. It ain't even the same sport with the one that Barbecue comes with. Barbecue just looks sassy standing back there, doesn't he? That's because his drop down hips suck. So you got your 3 fire axes here, which I absolutely love. And even more than that, I absolutely love the sledgehammer. This is the first time we've seen it. We know it's coming with a couple more upcoming figures. Got a large and a small sledge, so it's probably like a 2 or 3 pound and probably like a 9 pound, 11 pound, something like that on this one. Black handle, nothing on the wrap at the bottom on the grip, just black all the way down, but you have this nice shiny silver metallic paint on the heads of these. I love these. I love sledgehammers. I've always loved sledgehammers. I used to play. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, and maybe that's why I like these so much, because that was my go-to melee weapon. Boy, I tell you what, you want to piss some people off, repeatedly single them out and kill them with a sledgehammer in a video game. Then we have his emergency tool, multi-tool. I don't know what this is actually called. Fireman's tool. I have another one that come with the NECA Michael Myers Halloween Kills. Now I know that Shark Eyes had mentioned in his review this was a little flimsy. I don't think it's bad for as thin as the plastic is. I don't think it's bad. It's at least it's straight. I mean, back here, this part's supposed to curve. There's a pry bar, and then you got your window busting tool and your hammer part. I don't even know what this thing. I know they carry them, and I know they're for getting people out of stuff. It doesn't look bad. It's kind of plain next to that fancy hammer and that fancy axe. It seems really plain, so I will say it here. They should have put some of the silver at least on this and on this. But so far, that's really my only complaint with the accessories. Then he does come with the Mylar blanket. And I'm going to go ahead and open this thing. It will never, probably ever fit back in this little band, but I want to see it. Because I love that they included this emergency blanket. That's pretty neat, right? I mean, there's not much to it. It's a more of a fabric on the back. It doesn't feel cheap to me. Like I was thinking it was gonna rip, feel like it's like they're just gonna give you a piece of tin foil, but it actually feels pretty decent quality. It's a soft good. This is soft, so you can't really bend it or crease it very easy. This is a soft good with this backing. All right, now I'm going to set it over here because it's really reflecting that light. I put it on barbecue. You guys can't see it. All right, let's look at the man himself here. So he does have this crazy overlay, which may be snow jobs. I'm thinking this is snow jobs overlay was what we decided. So one thing that really interested me about this character was the silver. I was hoping this would actually be like they figured out a way to do the actual reflective tape, but it is a silver paint, like a high gloss silvery gray. It pulls it off though, because it does catch the light. I don't know if that's showing. It actually does catch the light, and it does the job. It does give the reflective appearance. So kudos. You got his fire suit overlay. You got his coat here, and this is a separate. This is a separate piece. Not connected. It's meant to look connected, but as a harness, but it's not. So you could say you might be able to get this off of him. He's going to look really weird under there without it. So I don't see an ab crunch. He's got the waist swivel and the torso cut up top. I don't love those because they tend to wind up being loose. He's not bad. So my heavy duty is pretty loose figure. So reflective stripes here. You got your pockets. They put a gauge over here. I'm guessing that's probably oxygen, like tube running back to it, where you can see all of this stuff goes back and connects to where his air tank's going to go on. You got a little bit of design back here, a little bit of sculpting on this harness. Got all kind of various little buckles and straps. Probably would have been a good idea to try to make part of this a different color, but I guess technically it could all be gray. I don't know what color they are in real life, so maybe they're really all one color. And then over here you do have another end of the hose coming out. I am not sure what that end of the hose is for. How does this thing connect? This is going to go right there, so there's his breathable air going in when you're using the helmet. So that's an interesting system. This is the peg for it. That's kind of neat. That's different than just a standard kind of plug-in they've been using. So check out his butterflies. It does have butterflies. The overlay is going to stop what range of motion he has toward the front, which is going to restrict this guy. I figured that though with this. I'm sure you can probably heat this and pull this off of him. I don't think I'll try it, but I'm sure somebody out there can and will. Let's see if we can get him to stand just a second. Alright, had to reposition in my chair. I was making too many creaky creaks. Alright, got your bicep swivel up at the top. Pinless double jointed elbows, no problem moving those. Does have, I thought that was a cut there, but I guess that's in the sculpt to maybe make the gloves or the sleeves part of the jacket. I don't know, that looked like that was a separate articulation piece there, but I guess it's not. No issues moving him around. T-pose, pretty good T-pose. Not too bad. There's how far the butterflies come back on him. Let's try the right arm out. No issues there. Plastic feels a little soft on this guy. And while we're talking about plastic, let's see where he's made. Made in China 2023. So at least his feet are. Okay. Got your thigh swivel, thigh cut up there at the top. His joints are a lot looser than most of the recent figures that I've seen. That right leg is it's got a little more resistance, but that left one, none whatsoever. It's not like loose. It's not going to cause him to fall over. Just interesting that the right is so much more tension on it. See how it'll stand up out of the box. You guys know these ankles for me with these guys are always an issue for some reason. I always tend to get figures that have crappy ankles, and it's not just in classified. He does seem to stand pretty good right there. So let's start with the basics. Let's start with putting this tank on. It's going to have a little tab up here at the top, a little tab here. Looks like you're just going to pop that on like so. That goes on pretty well. Not at all upset with that. That fits on. If they're going to go to this type of backpack system for guys that have harnesses or web gear, bring it on, I say. So let's check this out. Since we've already got this head on him. I like that this is like one piece clear plastic on this. Okay, so that pops loose. It pops loose over there too. So that is a traditional connection there. So if we're going to have a problem, it's going to be right there, I think. Comes out really easy out of the mask. Maybe I didn't have it seated in there. That's not too bad. See how far you can go. You get pretty good head turn with that still connected. It's better than I thought. You're not going to go much further than that in real life unless you're Linda Blair. Not bad. I'm digging it so far. A little hard time getting. There we go. That's a little better. Getting that centered. The helmet is going to be, looking at it and make sure there are no buckles. The helmet's going to be tricky. I'm not entirely sure if the helmet is supposed to go on with the rebreather, because I don't see any way you can get all of this on together. It's just is too much, man, putting all that on together. So I think that this is meant to be used with the goggles. Let's see here. Yeah, let's not take any chances. And usually on these guys, you want to go in chin first on these straps. That's the easiest way that I've found on these chin straps. Tiny little neck peg on this dude. There we go. So you're going to have to pop it on there and then finagle it a little bit. Fits on there pretty good. Of course, I didn't put the goggles on him. That might have been helpful. I still think it's going to be a bit of a challenge getting those goggles on too. See if we can pull it off of there without. Nah. Well, you have to kind of roll it. It's going to be interesting trying to keep these goggles on him and then put that on him too, but we'll try it for a minute and see if we can get it to work. I have a feeling this is going to be kind of tough, but we'll try it and see. Okay, not as tough as I thought. That's good, and that's good. There we go. Got him geared up. Goggles are actually on there pretty good. I got him a little sideways there. Yeah, it's not too bad, right? Pretty centered. They could stand a little turn to the left, but I like that look. I like the look. Of course, you don't need. There goes the hose as soon as I move it. All right, so we'll set that aside. We know what that's going to look like. Let's try these Jaws of Life. Hands are not super duper rigid like some of the more recent figures. Hands are a little more pliable. That's one thing I've noticed with some of these later figures is the plastic on the hands, like the leather neck and like Saw Vipers. Saw Vipers is really bad as far as the plastic being super rigid. And this thing does not want to go in there. That's why I'm not crazy about this. It's just so kind of awkward looking once you finally get them to hold it. It's hard to get them in some really decent poses with it. At least it is for Ripper. See, you want You want to try to get it at an angle like he's working on something, but the hands just fit on it so weird. And the overlay is really stopping it, like this harness. Like, he really needs to be able to come forward a little more. You may be able to heat this up and move that harness, but that's why I'm not super crazy about this accessory. Not because of the way it looks or the functionality or anything. It's just getting him to hold it in a natural looking position like he's actually using it. So I guess you can finesse it around. You can do it. You want to do some shots of him. Try to turn both wrists at the same time. And he does bend over pretty well. Like, if he's got to bend over for an extraction, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, there we go. You get the idea. So not too bad once you work everything around a bit. Let's check him out. I want to check him out with the hammer first, because that's what I've really been waiting for, is this hammer. Get him where he's swinging it. It's going to be very hard to get him in a two-handed pose with this hammer or this axe, which is what you want. So I wish he could come in a little bit further. So you can do it. It's going to take some work. So you can get him in a pretty decent swinging position. I wish you could come back with it a little more than that, and further out. There we go. Not too bad. And then it'll be the same for the axe. Those handles are actually, the handle for the sledgehammer's just a little longer, so you probably gonna have a little more trouble with the axe getting it into like a realistic swinging position. I'm feeling you can probably work with it a bit. I wish that handle on that one was just a little longer. So you can work with it. And then of course you got your little smaller ones. It's like he's breaking a window or something. I'm gonna help bust a door handle off or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's a use. I like these little small ones. Just chop, 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 chop. Let's check out his multi-tool here. Now, that is one thing that I'm not crazy about, is it's so thin. Like, he can't really grip it. It just slides all the way one way or the other. And it's not really long enough for him, I don't think, to get much of a pose with it, because the hands are going to hold it in place, right? The tension on the hands apart, that's going to hold it in place, but you're not going to get a whole lot of two-handed action with this. Now, you could probably get him like he's prying something a lot easier than you can swinging. As I say that, you'd probably be able to get more out of, say he's trying to, see if we can get him bent. Boy, that right knee is just crazy. So there you go, get him See if that's on. Yeah, it's on camera. So there he is trying to pry the Air Eagle canopy open to get Flint out before Flint burns up or winds up having to go on an Arctic vacation. So I really like this figure. The overlay, like I said, I was expecting it to hinder some of the movement, but I think with the articulation, you'll be able to make up for a lot of that, actually. Now, he's right. This is a little thin because of that. Like, it's not, floppy or anything, but because of the width of the hands, it just slides. So that may be a problem. His wrist articulation is vertical, but you don't get a lot with the overlay for the coat. So let's pop this off and check out the other head on this guy. I'm not getting that to pop on there. It went on, it did not pop on there. It didn't get that satisfying pop that you want. So let's stick this on this guy. Yeah, you definitely need a couple of these because you can have a few different looks for them. So I can definitely see where having multiples of these for a scene will be cool. Now let me grab the hose because of course the hose hit the floor. Always remember, if you pause the camera, to start it back before you move the figure. Let's see if we can get that. This does kind of go in here a little, like it goes in there, but there, it's got a certain threshold. You can definitely tell when it's where it needs to be. That's what she said. Get that connected, and then this popped out. This will be the most frustrating part of this guy, I think, is getting this thing to stay on while you get the mask on. And as you saw, like once you get it on and get it snapped in good, like it moves okay. That hose seems to be just about as long as it should be. So there's that guy. We got our alternate head on there. Oh man, look. You see what I'm doing here, right? He needs an axe. I've seen way too many horror movies in my life. Did you guys ever see My Bloody Valentine? Oh, I couldn't help myself. Oh my God. Well, I guess we know what kind of pictures may be on the end of this if I do some. There he is, Legacy Search and Rescue Firefighter. I got no issues with this figure. I wish he moved a little bit better as far as butterflies and getting two-handed attachments, but really not any different than we've gotten with some of the ninjas that come with all these swords and nunchucks and stuff and can't really hold them. I dig this guy. I'm going to get one more at least. I've got one more ordered from somewhere, hadn't shipped yet. That way I can have one like this and then one with the helmet. I definitely recommend picking this guy up. He's going to fit in with anything. There he is. Got him with blowtorch and barbecue. My other barbecue is just way too hard to get out of the display. He's in the back because his hips are so loose. I keep him angled in case he falls. He falls to the back. And then just for the hell of it, let's bring Torch over here. You just see this guy getting ready to just maul Torch with that axe. So, all right, Legacy Firefighter. Let's give this guy a grade. Let's give this guy a ranking. I like this figure. He's everything I was expecting in this figure with the few shortcomings that he's got. This dude is a 4.25 yeehaws for me. I'm happy with this figure, and I think you need this figure in your display, especially if you do dios. This guy is going to photograph so well. I appreciate you guys sticking through to the end. Check out my review on the Legacy Firefighter here. Hit that like, that subscribe, all that jazz if you're not already. Again, thank you to Shark Eyes for letting me know that this guy was available when he was, where he was. And I will see you guys on the next one.